The first shift, I live with my boyfriend, Jake. We've been together for almost 4 years and living together for 2 of them. Things were good, not perfect, but stable. We had our routines. He worked at a local auto shop, came home around 6. We'd make dinner together, maybe watch a show or play some dumb board game. Then bed. It was simple, normal. Then one Tuesday, everything shifted just a little. Not enough to panic, just enough to notice. Jake texted me around 5 saying he was staying a bit late to finish up paperwork. Paperwork? I didn't even know mechanics did paperwork. I let it slide. That night, he came home past 8. He looked tired, really tired, but weirdly wired at the same time, like he had too much coffee or adrenaline still in his system. I asked how the day went. He shrugged. Busy, just busy. He didn't touch his food. That was the first night he locked his phone in his toolbox. Routine changes. By the end of that week, he'd stayed late 3 more times. His excuse changed. Once it was a new hire needing training, another time a customer who came in last minute with an emergency, another time just backed up work. I tried to be supportive. I told myself, people get busy, shops get slammed. But the toolbox? He started bringing it home, said there were specialty tools inside, but it didn't feel like tools. It was heavier than it should be. One night, I accidentally knocked into it, and the sound wasn't clinks of metal. It was dull thuds. The 3rd week, I snooped. He'd left his phone unlocked on the couch when he went to shower. I wasn't proud, but I opened it. No messages, no texts, no call logs, no emails. Just nothing. A factory reset? Or was he using another phone? I felt my stomach twist. Something wasn't right. When he came out of the shower, towel around his waist, humming some song I'd never heard before, I asked, "Where's your charger? I want to plug in my phone, too." He smiled, too quickly, and said, "Left it at work." But the light blinked on in the toolbox 10 minutes later. A blue blinking light. Not a charger, not tools. Something was definitely in there. The blue light and the unseen light. That blinking blue light haunted me. I waited until Jake went to sleep. Dead sleep. The kind he falls into when he's too exhausted to even snore. I watched his chest rise and fall. Once I was sure, I got out of bed, barefoot, careful not to make a sound as I stepped onto the hardwood floor of our hallway. The toolbox was in the closet now. He'd moved it from under the bed, like he knew I was thinking about it. I opened the door, and there it was, black, scuffed, with a small slit of faint light escaping from one of the corners. My fingers trembled. I knelt down, pulled it toward me, and gently tried the latches. Locked, of course, but the back latch had a tiny crack, just wide enough to peek into. I put my eye against it. I wasn't ready. Inside wasn't tools. It was foam lining, and in the middle, a device, small, rectangular, blinking and humming softly. Some kind of hard drive, a GPS tracker, a phone? I couldn't tell, but it looked military grade, like something out of a spy movie. I stood up quickly, heart racing. I thought about waking him up and demanding answers, but something held me back. A voice in my head whispered, "You're not supposed to know yet." The next morning, Jake was already gone. No note, no text. I called, no answer. I checked the app we used to track each other's locations. It was blank, like he didn't exist. Around noon, he finally messaged me. Just 2 words, "You okay?" I replied yes. He left me on red. That night, he came home like nothing happened, kissed me on the forehead, said work was brutal, and passed out on the couch. His phone, the new one, buzzed once. I grabbed it, locked. Face ID. I looked at his sleeping face, the faint stubble on his chin, the way his mouth twitched while he dreamed. I hovered the phone near his face, unlocked. One message, No sender name, just a number. It said, drop-off confirmed, 3 nights remaining. Do not engage. 3 nights for what? Whispers in the walls. That night, I couldn't sleep. I heard sounds, faint metallic clinks, maybe pipes, maybe not. I thought I heard whispering from the vents. Rationally, I knew it was anxiety messing with me, but still. I closed every door in the apartment. I pushed the couch against the closet. I locked the bedroom door. The next day, Jake texted me mid-morning again. Everything's fine, just don't go near the box. He never mentioned the box out loud, ever. When he came home that night, I pretended to be asleep. He didn't come to bed. I heard him pacing, heard him muttering. He opened the closet. I peeked through the crack in the bedroom door and watched as he knelt beside the box, opened it with a small key around his neck, and took something out, a syringe and a small vial. He injected himself in the thigh. His hands didn't even shake, like he'd done it before, like it was normal. Then he looked straight toward the bedroom. I ducked back, heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Seconds passed. Nothing. Silence. Then the hum started. Not from the box, from the walls. Like everything was vibrating at a low frequency, barely audible, but felt in my bones. Jake returned to the living room, sat on the couch, and started whispering. I couldn't make out the words, but they weren't English. It sounded like code. The next morning, I didn't ask anything. I didn't mention the whispering, the syringe, the strange hum in the walls. I just smiled, made coffee, and said, "Rough night?" Jake looked at me with hollow eyes. Yeah, couldn't sleep. He had slept, like a corpse. I had been the one pacing. He left earlier than usual. No kiss goodbye, no mention of work. I took that as my opening. I went back to the closet. The box was gone. In its place, tucked behind a pile of winter coats, was a laptop, not his. Black, matte finish, stickers on the edges, barcodes and strange acronyms. No logos. I opened it. It powered on instantly. No password, just a blinking prompt. Input code. I froze. What code? Then I remembered the message on his phone. 3 nights remaining. Do not engage. 3 nights. What if that was the code? I typed. 3 nights, it worked. The screen loaded one file. Log 5734.mp4a video. I clicked it. It opened with static. Then, Jake. Sitting in our living room, talking to someone off screen. The subject has shown signs of partial fusion. Behavior is still erratic, but stable. She doesn't suspect anything yet. I'm keeping the injections regular. The hum has started again. That's a sign it's working. Me? I was the subject? I paused the video. My hands were shaking. I clicked through the timeline. More clips, more logs. In one, he's whispering to someone in a dim room. There's a strange red light illuminating half his face. I saw her dreaming again. Same pattern, static, faces. She talks in her sleep. She says the numbers. Another clip. She's sinking faster than we projected. I think she's already partially integrated. If this works, we won't need another test subject. My stomach dropped. Integrated into what? I pulled up the device logs. There were files labeled by date. The earliest one was 3 months ago, right when Jake got his promotion. I clicked on a folder labeled External Voices. It was audio, dozens of files, all short. I clicked the first one, a hiss, then my voice, saying numbers, 11, 7, 4, 0, 9. But I never said those. At least I don't remember ever saying them. Another file, another recording. Me again, but distorted, like I was underwater. They're not real. Jake isn't real. Jake isn't... Click. I slammed the laptop shut. I ran to the bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror. I don't know what I expected to see. A glitch, a scar, a wire. Just my face, pale, shaking. But then, under the light, right at the edge of my collarbone, I saw something, a faint line. I pulled my shirt down. It was a tattoo. Number A barcode. Tiny, almost invisible. I ran my fingers over it. The skin was smooth, no pain, like it had been there a while. My memory flickered. The last few months, a blur. Things felt too neat, too clean, like my brain was filling in blanks without asking for permission. I opened my notes app on my phone and began writing everything down. Every sound, every strange moment, the messages, the videos. I needed to leave. But as I turned to grab my bag, the lights flickered. That hum again, deeper now, vibrating in my bones. And a voice, from the walls, not Jake's, not mine, a woman's. You're waking up too early. Please return to sync. My vision blurred. The room rippled, like I was looking through water. I screamed, but no sound came out. Everything shifted. The walls bent, the floor twisted under my feet. I blacked out. I woke up in a room I didn't recognize. It looked like our bedroom, same layout, same furniture, but the walls had no corners. Everything curved, smooth, seamless. The hum was constant now, like it was inside my head. I tried to stand, but my legs were heavy, slow. Then Jake walked in. Same clothes, same face, but his eyes, they weren't blinking. You accessed the terminal, he said. I tried to speak, but my mouth wouldn't move right. You weren't supposed to, he added. Not yet. I looked down at my arms, wires, not plugged into anything, but growing out of my skin. I started to panic, my breathing rapid, uneven. Jake moved closer, calm, controlled. You were doing so well, he said. They were impressed. The integration was almost complete. What are you talking about? I finally managed to whisper. He smiled, software almost sad. You volunteered, don't you remember? I blinked. Flashes, needles, a bright room, people in masks, my signature, my voice saying, yes, I agree to the protocol. No, I said. No, I never. You did, he interrupted. You just didn't want to remember. That was part of the deal. I tried to pull the wires, rip them out. Jake didn't stop me. Instead, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device. It looked like a remote control. You have a choice, he said. We always give one last choice. He pressed a button. A wall slid open. Behind it was a second version of me. Sitting, smiling, clean, dressed in my favorite sweater, reading a book I loved. She looked up. Our eyes met. She smiled wider. She's already running at 98% sync, Jake said. She has your memories, your voice, your patterns. She won't ask questions. My hands shook. What happens to me? You're the original, but you're unstable. They don't want unstable. She's not me. No, Jake said. She's better. I turned to him. What if I say no? What if I don't want to be erased? He pressed the button again. The other me stood up and walked toward me. Then she'll take over. Jake left us alone. I looked at her. She looked at me. Same everything. Except she didn't seem scared. I said, what do you want? She replied, to live. I laughed, or tried to. I am living. No, she said, you're remembering. She raised her arm and touched her barcode. It glowed briefly. We were dying. Do you remember that? No. Jake was your partner. You asked him to do this, to save you. I shook my head. Number, you're lying. You told him to keep your memories alive, to recreate your consciousness. This is what he made. I never would have asked for this, but you did. I stepped back. The room warped slightly. The hum grew louder. She stepped forward. There's no leaving. There's only choosing. You can stay inside, locked in memory, or you can let go. I felt something deep inside crack. Flashes again. Hospital bed, monitors, machines, Jake crying. My voice weak, whispering, "Keep me alive." I had asked. I had chosen this. The room dimmed. The lights pulsed. I sat down. She sat across from me. We looked at each other for a long time. "Do you forgive me?" I asked. She nodded. "Do you?" We sat together in silence for what felt like hours. Me, the original decaying code, trapped in loops of fading memories. Her, the perfected echo, flawless and stable, waiting to fully take over. The room began to dim. The hum softened into a single, long note. Jake's voice came through the intercom, calm and clinical. "Initiating fade protocol, 60 seconds. I looked at her one last time. She tilted her head. "Are you afraid?" she asked. "No," I said. "I'm just tired." My body felt warm, like slipping into water. My thoughts began to blur, dissolve. She reached out and touched my hand. "You were strong," she said. "You just weren't designed for forever." As I faded, my last memory wasn't of Jake or the lab. It was of sunlight on my skin, a laugh I couldn't place, the smell of burnt coffee and cheap perfume. I smiled. Then, nothing, just code. The next moment, she opened her eyes, not in that curved room, but in our real bedroom, or what looked like it. Jake sat on the bed beside her, eyes filled with hope. "Welcome back," he whispered. She smiled and kissed him. Somewhere deep inside, a flicker of me still echoed, a shadow behind her smile, a glitch in the perfect simulation. And maybe that was enough. Hey guys, I hope you enjoy the story. Please feel welcome to post any similar situation or your opinion about this case in the comments. And of course, subscribe for more.